Hi, I'm Mordechai Torczyner, Rosh Beit Midrash of the Yeshiva University Torah Mitzion, Beit Midrash Zichron Dov of Toronto, Canada. And as you can probably tell from the setting, we are here celebrating the birthday of the trees, Tu BiShvat, Rosh Hashanah for the trees. Yes, this is what the birthday of the trees looks like here in Toronto. Tu BiShvat is celebrated on the 15th day of the month of Shevat. And this was set by our sages a couple of thousand years ago for two reasons. Reason number one is because most of the year's rain has fallen by the time you hit the 15th day of Shevat. And reason number two, because the fruit that grows from now is going to grow based on rain that already came down before the 15th day of Shevat. So that's what makes this day the birthday of the trees, Rosh Hashanah for the trees, Tu BiShvat. You might well ask, what in the world we are doing, though, celebrating Tu BiShvat here in the middle of the snow, where this is what a tree looks like. Indeed, Jews in another part of the world asked the same question of the Har Tzvi, Rav Tzvi Pesach Frank, about 100 years ago. They were living in Buenos Aires, where the rainy season is entirely different from the season in Israel. And they said, why are we celebrating Tu BiShvat now? We should move Tu BiShvat. And the Har Tzvi's response is that Israel is ultimately our barometer. We organize our calendar around what's happening in Israel. If we are scattered and we're in Buenos Aires or we're in Toronto, that's our problem. But fundamentally, the Jewish calendar revolves around the land of Israel, and when it's Tu BiShvat in Israel, that's when it's Tu BiShvat for us. There are many lessons we can learn from the trees. Among them is a lesson that comes from a parable offered by a man named Yotam in Tanakh, in the book of Judges, of Shoftim. I'm going to make this parable short because it is freezing out here. Yotam speaks of the trees trying to find a ruler among themselves. And the trees approach the olive and they approach the fig. They ask these trees, will you rule over us? And each of these trees says, oh no, I have to produce my fruit. I have to produce my oil. I produce the things that make me special. I'm not going to instead take my time to rule over the other trees. And the lesson there, in part, is that these trees are all concerned about themselves and growing for themselves instead of taking care of the others. And what we need are trees that are actually going to be focused on helping the entire forest, the entire orchard. And this is a lesson for us as well, because all of us have our own special fruit. All of us have that which we can produce and enjoy ourselves and add to our own honor and our own dignity. But it would be so much better if we would learn this lesson of Yotams Parable and instead spend our time developing for others, sharing with others, and helping make the community all the greater.